I was even more terrified that Max and I had made a terrible decision and were in way over our heads. Max put his hand on my shoulder, a calming gesture. Maybe it's better on the inside and the problems are superficial. It was fine a few months ago. How bad could it have gotten? Let's wait, take a breath, and check things out before we panic. That was Max, always confident that things would work out. My approach was the opposite of his. I tried to anticipate problems and organize my way out of them. I took a deep breath and pulled my shoulder-length hair into a ponytail. I should have checked the house out more recently myself. We'd peeked in the windows in February before we had the keys, and Max had done a walkthrough in April. Both times, the house looked fine. After that, wrapping up Max's work, my business, and everything else had consumed every spare minute. Pressed for time, we assumed our earlier examinations of the property would suffice. It looked as if we'd been wrong, but there was nothing we could do about it now. Today, my job was to move my family into this house and get started on our new life in Orchard View, a small town in the hills above Silicon Valley. Efficient organization is my passion and my profession, and I was eager to get started. I clutched my binder filled with the phone numbers I'd need to set up the phone, internet, cable, electricity, and gas. It held the kids' birth certificates and school records, and my growing list of the things we needed to accomplish in the next few days. It was my security blanket. "Honey, wait," I called to David, who tugged at the windows and searched for a way in. "Dad's got the key. Let's go in together." Max patted the pockets of his rumpled jeans like a caricature of the absent-minded professor he'd been until a few weeks ago. He held up the key, tied to a grubby cardboard tag with gray twine. The steps creaked as he joined David on the porch. Sidestepping the hole in the floorboards with a dance move worthy of Fred Astaire, he brandished the key and flung open the door, bowing low and waving his arm to invite us in. This house, Max's great-aunt Kay's home, featured large in stories from his childhood. He'd grown up here and loved every inch of the house, the grounds, and the surrounding countryside. I squeezed past Max and peered up at the oak-beamed ceilings and the fireplace that dominated one end of the expansive front room. I hoped the skittering noises I heard were dry leaves and not mice. From Max's stories and from our earlier sneak peeks, I'd imagined the house with polished wood paneling and comfortable, welcoming rooms that were free of rodents and insects. I shivered. I hate spiders. One encounter with a web makes my face itch for a week, or a couple of minutes at least. I crossed my arms, gripping my elbows with my palms. This was the first room we'd seen. What lurked beyond? If the visible parts of the house were this neglected, what did that say about the parts we couldn't see? Like the electricity and the plumbing. I needed a house inspector. I needed to find a hardware store. I needed my head examined. "Max? Honey? Didn't the title company require an inspection?" "The lawyer said he'd be out of the office the rest of the week, but I'll call him. We'll straighten this out." I took a deep breath to center myself and stall my runaway thoughts. We had to make this work. There was no going back. Max had left his job at the university in Stockton to take an upper-level management position in software engineering at Influx in Santa Clara. He'd worked part-time from home since wrapping up his teaching responsibilities in May. This move was a dream Max and I shared for ages, getting away from Stockton, leaving the university community where I'd lived all my life and Max had lived since his freshman year in college, where my parents were part of the fabric of the university, and everyone knew me and still thought of me as a child. Max wanted proof that his knowledge base wasn't ivory tower nonsense and was valuable in the global technology marketplace. Max grew up in Orchard View, a small town straddling the freeway between San Jose and San Francisco. He'd always wanted to go back. For years, his only relative had been his reclusive great-aunt Kay. She died in her sleep just shy of her 100th birthday in February and left the house and the rest of her estate to Max. At Silicon Valley property rates, the house, barn, and